Hello, everyone. This is Denise Hansard. I am your life architect and host of What's Next. And today, another special person I have with me is Heather Liebhart. And Heather and I have known each other for a while and are good friends. And when I heard what she was doing, I couldn't wait to have her on. So, welcome, Heather, and tell us who you are.
Heather Liebhart. I am in the corporate world. I'm a dog mom, wife, lover of fashion, lover of vintage. Um, I'm kind of like an eclectic person as well. I'm kind of got interest everywhere. So I'm always looking and always trying to learn new things. So
Love
yeah,
it.
just glad to be here. So thank you.
You're welcome. Yes. So everyone, like I said, when Heather and I caught up not too long ago, she was telling me about a new endeavor. Now, she's not ready to retire from the corporate world yet. And at the same time, she's looking at what she can do alongside her corporate work to help when she is ready to retire, can move into it seamlessly. So Heather, eclectic person that you are, and I love that background and I love your outfit.
Thank you.
Tell us more.
Kind of ties in with the whole ideas that I have. So I'm looking for like that second. Well, I'm going to say it's like third career because I've like I said, I'd like to learn to kind of set myself up for when I do retire from the corporate world, that I have something on the side because I can't see myself just sitting around watching TV, eating bonbons, whatever. So I'm kind of trying to set myself up for what it's going to look like in the future. And nothing that maybe I'm going to be working like 40 hours a week at or anything like that, but just something to have fun, something to make a little spending money so I can travel, do different things. But it's kind of around again my love of vintage, my love of antiquing, and my love of Paris. So that's Paris in the background. So kind of looking for something to do to set myself up now and kind of build up what that looks like and get started and kind of you know, gain people's attention, garner some people followers, things like that. I've started off with on Instagram just as it was kind of just to help small vendors kind of promote them. And it's kind of a way I see myself still being able to do that as well. So yeah, just kind of getting myself going. I'm not there yet. I'm just starting, but
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm that's what I'm looking at doing.
Okay. So I love this. Number one, you've decided. You've
Hmm.
decided, which is the biggest step of all.
Yeah.
And I bet when you just made that decision that things felt relief from there. You kind of felt a relief. And then you started getting ideas. Okay, so what's the next step? And what's the next step? And what's the next step? And
Hmm.
probably for you, as I know you, you're very step oriented, scientific,
Very.
and I love it. And at the same time, you have this passion, the
Mhm.
passion for fashion.
Yeah.
And guys,
I
you need to follow her on Instagram. It's Hallway of Fashions.
Yes.
Yes.
Hallway
Oh
of
my
fashion.
gosh. It's fabulous. You've got to follow her. And I'll have the link down below in the description. But so how did you, I mean, that's your passion, but what started? What got you into that passion?
You know, um, I mean, I've been antiquing since I was in high school. Fashion I always loved. Couldn't always wear the fashions, but it was something always there. And during the pandemic, really started to really get more involved with meeting people through Instagram. That was the only way you could do it. And just meeting very like-minded people and seeing what other people were able to do just from a small grassroots like connecting, with others. And it just kind of like, well, why couldn't I do something like that as well? Or just, thinking about how could I set myself up for, a non-traditional role, like so different from the corporate role that I could be nomadic.
Yeah.
So the fashion, like I'm wearing my friend's, she's a fashion designer, Ann Everett, follow her as well. That's how I kind of got into the Instagram and getting into the more of the fashion world, is because I started meeting people through Instagram, but also meeting people outside when you could start going back to people back out into the world, was meeting these vendors and just starting to talk with them and, getting to know their story, getting to know the history of the clothes, putting some different aspects other than just looking at a magazine. And so that's kind of like it all came together. And my love of Paris, that also kind of the two worlds kind of collided. I
Hmm.
found my tribe that loves Paris and loves France and everything, and then my tribe that loves fashion. And they both kind of collided, into me thinking of this idea. So yeah, it just kind of percolated. It really like that, and also meeting you, during my or times during the Healthcare Business Women's Association meetings, and you taught me how to build a vision board.
Mhm.
So I've built vision boards ever since, and a lot of those things have come true,
I love
because it changed. And even during after the pandemic, really, I changed my mindset. I'm like, I can't keep on thinking in this negative manner. I really want these things to happen. And shifting has really made a huge difference, because a lot of things you say to open yourself up, you don't like demand necessarily, but open yourself up to the opportunities,
Yes.
and they have come in. So that's what's amazing. Even this past week, I'm learning now how to set up a website with a um, with a friend, and the offer just came in. I'm like, I'm going to put myself out there and go, yes, just say yes, right? So
Oh my gosh.
that is, it's literally like, if you don't change your perception of your world and
Mhm.
how you want to do things, it's never going to change. You're never going to reach that next step. So, I've been taking different classes to learn different things, and just really just like, okay, I'm giving myself time, like I said, but I'm going to start learning, and I'm going to just keep on slowly building, because, as you know, when you have a corporate job, there's a lot of hours that are involved with that, and you need to take some downtime.
Yes.
Um, so but I keep on plugging away. And every time I plug away a little bit more, something else comes with it.
Mm.
And I'm really excited about where I'm going to be with it.
I love that. I love that what you're saying. First, you envisioned it, the
Hmm.
vision board, and we all know,
Yeah.
and thank you for that, because I love I still have a vision board. I still create a
Hmm.
vision board, and
Yeah.
they do happen. That's
Yes.
the way. Once you find that passion within and can bring it out
Hmm.
visually, where you can literally put yourself into it,
Yeah.
that's what makes it happen.
Yeah.
And then it's the baby steps, because you gotta, the only way to make things happen is to take one step, the next step, and the next
Hmm.
step. So, what have you found to be the most difficult thing in this endeavor?
You know, I have a lot of ideas, and kind of focusing into one and kind of really picking that one area that I wanted to go to, but realizing, and as I'm learning, you know what? You don't have to get yourself so niched in
Yes.
that you can't branch out if you want to. So, um, but it's been the website. I think the biggest rate limiting step is like, oh my God, how do you build a website? How do you get that going? Because Instagram, I even then it's kind of, you know, I don't have reels and things like that that other people do, but I'm like, that's okay for right now. I don't need them, because
Mhm.
I'm just doing what I can do and what I know how to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's building the website part that has kind of stymied me. But like I said, literally just last week, it came, the opportunity came through. I was like, I'm taking it. Oh my gosh. I'm like, this is amazing. So yay.
So
So yeah,
again, yeah, you opened yourself up to that possibility.
yeah.
You knew if you're going to continue this, and you are obviously, or
Mhm.
you wouldn't have put as much work into it as you have, and you love it, that if
Yes,
you didn't create that website, you couldn't go any further. And
right.
even though it may have scared you a little bit, got a little intimidated by it,
Yeah.
you still decided yes.
hmm
Then all of a sudden, boom, you manifested it on how
Yes.
to make it
Yes, I
happen.
did. I was like, it was a luck of I was like, oh, I'm going to answer back and go, can I participate in this? I would love to. And they said, yes. I'm like, awesome. Yeah, so it's been great, and I've got people who are supporting me, people who are holding me accountable as well, because I've got one friend that has done her own website and got everything going. I've got another one that is looking to do something for herself as well, but she's great at bouncing ideas off of. I'm like, oh, I never thought of that. That's incredible. So I'm not working in a silo by myself either on any of my ideas. I'm kind of not beta testing, but I'm like, using somebody as a sounding board, just like, hey, what are your thoughts? I'm like, this is kind of where I'm going, but what do you think? So, I've got some really good friends that are helping me out with that as well. So,
Good.
that we just keep on creating and like keep on making it better. And hopefully by the time, not hopefully, by the time, see,
You
correcting
did
myself,
it.
by
You
the time it launches and everything's going, you know, again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I think that's also what stymied me a little bit is like my perfection need. I'm like, oh, if it's not perfect, don't put it out there. But I think Instagram also kind of got me over that because I'm like, I just, I don't have the time, as some of the people do, to go out and film themselves and do things. And I'm like, I've got 5 minutes. I've got 5 minutes to do it. I got to do it. I'll put it out. Might not be perfect, but it's out there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, this is perfect. This is perfect because it's perfectly imperfect, but um I love everything you're saying. And what I like about what you just said was being supported by the right people,
Yes.
because there are many times that we can have a dream and even our closest loved ones might look at us going, now what are you going to
Yeah.
do? And we have to find that support system that builds us up and keeps
Yes.
us accountable and keeps us motivated. We can still have our hubbies over here, our family and friends and everything looking at us kind of sideways, but once we do it, then they're all on board. So I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I learned you got to share it with the right people for sure.
Yeah.
Because you don't want somebody that's always going to be negative about what your idea is before it's even launched, because that could just impact you and
Yeah.
send you the other way. So I've learned to just the select people that I know that will be super supportive of the idea, go with it. The rest of the people, I'm like, they'll know when it happens.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. One of the key things that I want to bring up to the audience is what Heather said before. The fact that once she does retire, and who knows when that's going to be for her, but she has something going on the side. It's not that she wants to retire from life. She's just retiring and moving in a different direction.
Mhm.
And if you go back, you can listen to this again, but she said it's not going to be a job. She can now decide why she's doing this. What is it going to lead to? How can it bring about something in your life that you've always wanted to do? And like you said, you got Paris in the background. I know you've got another dream.
Oh yeah. Yes, my dream of living abroad for at least a year. That and seeing if that's something I'm going to do. I love Paris. I love traveling. Um, Seeing Paris as my home or my base destination, and then going visiting different countries and different parts of the regions and stuff, and seeing, like, hey, is this what we want to do? That way we're not having to travel back and forth from the United States. I can take my dogs with me, my husband, of course. uh,
You see who came first, everybody. The dogs first and then the hubby. Still loves the hubby, but
yeah, he's on board. The dogs don't know yet. But yeah, so it's really just, again, following something that I've always dreamed about, and taking that chance on myself, and taking a chance on that idea. And, life is too short, and I've seen too many people wait until they fully retired, or like, oh, I'm going to wait until this time frame or this date, and not start thinking about it and see something happen to them, unfortunately, an illness or something gets in the way.
yeah.
And I'm like, this is the time to start really looking and seeing what can come of it. Like you said, what can come out of this, and it could take a totally different direction than what I think in the end, which is fine. But I've met a lot of great people, just even just chatting with different people that I meet. I've met in Paris, I've met here,
Mhm.
just chatting with them about different ideas, and the amount of support that I have received. And they're like, I'm like, well, what if I'm in somebody else's space? They're like, there's enough space for us all. So
Yeah.
they're like, don't, because I get very conscientious about stepping on somebody else's toes, or I'm like, oh my God, I don't want them to think I'm infringing on what they're doing. And they're like, there's enough to go around.
Yes.
You just find your little section and what you do different, because what you do is going to be different than what that person does. And it might be the same area, but again, you're going to bring a different spin to it.
Mhm.
So I'm like, oh, that's very true. I'm like, I also like baking. I'm like, so, I'm like, does that person like baking? Do we, I'm like,
Mhm.
there's so many different things that I could bring a different perspective on that somebody else might not think of. So,
Yeah.
I had to get over that of like worrying about, like, am I competing with a friend or a
Mhm.
colleague or somebody else? And it's like, no, because if they want to follow me, they follow me. If they want to follow the other person, they follow the other person. If they want to follow both, they follow both. Because I
Yeah.
know I have a lot of people that I follow around France and
Mhm.
um, Paris. There's some that I like, and there's some that I don't follow because I'm like, yeah, that just doesn't feel like me. The same thing with fashion. Some things I'm like, yeah, I like that fashion. That one, that's not me. I wouldn't go down that path. So, again, it's a different spin, different ideas, and again, just I see it as a second careerish, second careerish, but just a journey and just something fun. And if it works out, awesome. Doesn't, okay,
You're still having
figure
fun.
something else out. You
Yeah.
know.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. I hope everybody is hearing what Heather is saying, because she's going at it the right way. Um, Deciding to have fun,
Mhm.
because life has to be fun. She said it. Life is short. We don't want to lose any momentum. As long as we continue on this journey in a growth manner, as she's doing, you're going to have fun and you're going to stay youthful at the same time.
Yeah.
So, Heather, this is fabulous. Again, guys, I'm going to put her Instagram link below in the description. Please check it out. You just, it's amazing. That's all I can say.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Heather, one last thing. If you could tell someone, give them one last piece of advice, what would you say?
If you have an idea and you want to pursue it, do it. Don't hold yourself back. You just have to, your mindset has to be that go for it. If it doesn't work out, fine, but there may be something that you find on the way that is still valuable and brings a different meaning to your life. And that is what I've truly found throughout this process. I have found new friends, I have found new ideas. So whether it goes how I want it to go or not, I have found a lot of great people and interesting concept and interesting ideas along the way. And I'm like, this is fabulous. I'm like, just that alone, just in meeting the people and talking to different people has been incredible. That's really, and I'm an introvert. So for me to go out there just like chat, chat, chat to other people has been amazing. So I would say if you've got that idea, just try and pursue it. Just don't hold yourself back. Don't let that negative idea or like self-limiting step come in. Just go, you know what? If you can't figure this part out, go research it. Go find somebody that can help you, and you will be amazed at how many people want to help you succeed.
Yes.
And that is truly, I have found to be really one of the most amazing things is you will find a lot of cheerleaders. I really haven't found anybody going, "What?" You know, or they come in with a different idea, but they're like, but still they want to support you. They're just giving you another thing to think about.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, it's been wonderful.
Love it, love it, love it. So everybody, please again, check her out on Instagram. Heather, thank you. This was wonderful. And guys, just think about it. If you have an idea for that side hustle of what you want to move into, do what Heather says, try it out. You never know. You never know what's next for you. So if you found this interesting, please like, share, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you next time. See you later.